Running a small business means I wear lots of hats. When I put on my hiring hat, I can count on LinkedIn Hiring Pro to make it easy. LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps manage my hiring workflow, puts my job post in front of a unique network of professionals, and matches me with the best candidates for my business. I can also share my job with my network. No other job site lets me do that. No wonder most small businesses say they'd use LinkedIn Hiring Pro again. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Tidy Cats, here to level up your litter game with their new Performance Plus lineup. Your home is your happy place, your cats, VIPs. So when it comes to the litter box, excellence isn't optional. Choose from products that specialize in max power clumping, low tracking, or odor fighting so advanced, stink won't see it coming. Tidy Cats Performance Plus. Mission mighty, keep it tidy. Shop now at tidycats.com.
This is London. London calling in the home, overseas and European services.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Achtung Millwall. Broadcasting from beautiful South Bermondsey, it's the #1 Millwall podcast.
Started well with 2 or 3 chances early doors. We should have took the lead, a couple of gilt-edged chances really. We don't, and then it's been the sort of a familiar story in the last couple of games where we conceded the goal, which was disappointing from our point of view. I said at half-time, I thought we needed to be a little bit more aggressive with our passing in terms of playing forward and looking forward a bit earlier. I thought we did that. Started the second half well, so the lads that had played the first half, I thought for the 15 minutes they were on before I took them off, I thought they were much more aggressive in terms of trying to look forward and get that goal. And then the lads that came on as well, I thought we got better as the game wore on.
Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to another edition of Achtung Millwall. My name is Nick Hart. This is, of course, the #1 Millwall podcast. And rather like London buses, no sooner do we get one show out than another one follows very swiftly afterwards. This in the wake of last night's 1-1 draw at Hayes Lane in Bromley. The rise of Bromley Football Club into League One now, of course. An amazing football story in many respects. I remember going to Bromley when it was a non-league club, probably about 15, 20 years ago when I lived in the area. And, it was a real non-league setup there, but not so much now. It's a football league club doing well. And the Lions, of course, had a 1-1 draw there last night, a pre-season friendly. Now, as is well known, I generally don't do friendlies. I didn't do last night, didn't go to Bromley. We do have some voice notes later on. Post-match voice notes. I'm going to play those at the end of my little monologue sequence. So a big thank you to the boys for that, for those messages. But no, generally speaking, I don't do friendlies, pre-season matches at all. But I think I've become swayed by the giddy excitement of this campaign, the signings and, the general kind of vibe around the club. I was just looking at some of the works, pictures of some of the works going on at the Den at the moment to divide the away end into home section now. 500 seats apparently available for season ticket holders and casual walk-up tickets, I imagine, and then the remainder for the away support. A bit like what you should get at other grounds and what we should have had for many, many years, of course. But there we are. The Den is what it was constructed as in 1993. So no, I feel quite excited for the start of the season. Admittedly, pre-season form has been indifferent, to say the least. And, the Alicante trip and then the games at the likes of Stevenage and others, they're all about getting minutes in legs and effectively, it's a warm-up process. I do like the message that I've received on YouTube. Big shout out to Robert Cullen for this, it's that little sequence of comments from Robert in Dublin, one of our Irish listeners. Shout out to you, Robert. Thank you for the comments. And he basically saying to me, first time comment on your podcast, love it. His pre-season results do not matter. We'll make the playoffs, says Robert. Come on, Millwall from Dublin, Ireland. I agree with you on all fronts, actually, Robert. I'm going to go out on a limb. Listeners, and say that I do believe we'll make the playoffs. It is, of course, top 8 this season. And I also agree with Robert there that the pre-season results don't really count for Jack. I understand. I didn't watch the game. I understand it was a better performance. Somewhat fortunate goal for Bromley just before half-time and an equaliser from Mathis Servais in the second half. So, we shouldn't read too much into these patchy performances. That's the point I wanted to make on this show, dear listeners. It is a trial ground, a try it out and see. We had Danny Bath, I don't know how to say his surname, in central defence last night. A trialist listed initially on the team sheet, soon became apparent. It was, is he Derby County or Stoke City? I can't remember. I know the name, Danny Bath. And he was playing for us last night, 35-year-old. So presumably an attempt to bring some experience, if this signing does indeed take place, into what is quite an inexperienced-looking squad. When you look at some of the signings that we've had, Tariqa Conte coming in from France, from Rodé, listed here. This is a couple of profiles I've got off the net. A dynamic forward winger, bringing pace, direct line-breaking ability and flair to the attacking line. Athleticism, words like athleticism being brought into the front line, offering Alex Neil a genuine threat behind opposition and back lines or off the bench. I've not seen him, so I'm really speaking blind on all of these players. I'm going by online profiles that I've picked up from various locations. But I like the sound of him. I've seen some really, warm, favourable reports. I think he's got to get with the pace and physicality of the Championship, and also the nous of some of the defenders playing him offside. I think it was Phil Clark might have said he needs to get with the offside workings of English football. But certainly a really promising sounding striker, and exactly the kind of thing that we should be trying to achieve as part of our new business model. Find the diamonds in the rough, listeners, and polish them and sell them at profit, which, interesting last night, Femi Aziz, our main crown jewel, our Kohinoor diamond, so to speak, played last night, which is interesting. Speculation on our WhatsApp group. Big shout out to Harry Evans, who predicted that he's going to stay. I don't know. Others have replied it might be a, deadline day signing for somebody. If the Premier League big money comes in, we probably won't say no to Premier League big money, but it might be a similar pattern to what we saw with Japhet Tanganga. Was it 2 seasons ago now? I think it was, wasn't it? When he went to Sheffield United on the last knockings of the deadline day. So I don't think the fact that Femi started last night, get a bit of fitness, and apparently looked pretty dangerous with Ryan Leonard on the right side, always with a caveat, I didn't see him, but this is what I read. I will still be quite surprised if he remains as part of our squad going into the first half of the season. We've got deadline day, as others have pointed out on our WhatsApp group, to get past in I think it's September, isn't it? The end of August, early September, that falls. And then, of course, the second window, which comes in January. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's some things you can't odds. Mathis Survey profile I've picked up here. This is 21-year-old Belgian under-21 international midfielder signed from KV Mechelen. Highly technical box-to-box attacking midfielder with good a pedigree. Sounds like dog food. Pedigree chum in the Belgian top flight and in the youth ranks. He adds creative link play between midfield and attack, a modern profile that fits Alex Neil's high-energy system. Scored a goal last night, and I think did he score out there in Spain? I believe he did. I'm really excited to see Mathis. I really am. I think he could be another coming star without loading any pressure onto his young shoulders. Certainly, all of the players, well, most of them I'm excited to see. I mean, Mark Sykes is an experienced free agent that's coming from Bristol City, 28-year-old Republic of Ireland international, over 150 championship appearances under his belt, can play right wing, wing back or central midfielder. So utility, I think that's an old-fashioned term that you don't know if you see it in the game anymore, utility player. He provides instant second-tier experience, says Mr. Internet leadership, and is tactically adaptable. Some good reports that I've heard of Elkan Bagat, a 23-year-old, 6'5", Indonesian international. It must be a first for the Lions, dear listeners. I cannot think of anyone from that part of the world. I mean, maybe only Tim Cahill, I think, played one of the, was it Samoa, before becoming an Australian international by choice. Indonesia, I don't think we've ever had anyone from Indonesia in a Millwall shirt. Its strengths, according to the net, an imposing aerial presence at 6'5". He would match Jake Cooper, wouldn't he, in terms of physical, stoutness, excellent set-piece threat in both boxes, it says, and a natural left-sided distribution out defence. Interesting. They say adds serious height and physical command to the defensive unit. One thing I did pick up on when we did our Alex Neil interview, the boys of all the podcasts got a chance to get a few words with Alex Neil from Spain on a Zoom call. And one point really struck me was he said that we won't get bashed up this season. The Millwall team will be going to impose themselves on match the physicality of the opponents, which I love the sound of, don't you, dear listeners? You can get the boy out of Millwall, you can never get out the boy, can you? All I find myself doing, I did a call yesterday with Gabriel Sutton, with Chaps, actually, it was a joint call. We'll be going online fairly soon, I would imagine, pre-season preview. And all I kept finding myself was relishing the physical battle. I kept saying how we need the quality to creep up the table, but a big part of me still loves it when the crunching tackle goes in. You can never get it out of the boy, as they say. Interesting signing this week, Carol Lisby. Father and son. His dad played for the Lions, of course. I think his dad mostly made his name at Charlton. Was it Kevin Lisby? So yeah, father and son. Yeah, Kevin Lisby, here it is. Former Millwall lone striker. I can't think of a father and son duo at the Den. Can you, listeners? Any suggestions? Do give me a shout. I'd love to find out more if so, but I can't think of any. I've not done any research. It's coming purely from the increasingly creaky parts of my brain. 22-year-old winger, though, come out of Cray Valley paper mills down at the Yorkshire Grey roundabout. If that's what it's a McDonald's now, it's not called the Yorkshire Grey anymore, but everyone knows what I'm talking about listening to this show. 14 goals apparently last season for Peterborough in League One. A rapid rise through non-league to League One and now the Championship. A fast, direct winger, capable of playing across the front three, says Mr. Internet, representing Millwall's recruitment strategy of targeting young and hungry players with high growth potential. Amen to that. And I'd also throw in Jensen Metcalf there, dear listeners, as well. A central defensive midfielder coming from Bradford, apparently looking pretty smooth. I think Alex Neil said he's got work to do to entirely fit into the Millwall system. But I'm really interested to see him. He's come through the Everton Academy, Chesterfield, Bradford, and now, of course, the Championship with the Lions. So there we are. Obviously, we're all sad to say goodbye to Billy Mitchell. I imagine Jensen has come in as a direct replacement for Billy Mitchell, I imagine. I think that Billy had more quality than some out there give credit for. I think, like all of us, he's a Millwall boy, and I think there's a strong sentimental streak in each one of us that wants to see Millwall lads do well. Same with Danny Mack leaving us, unlike both players. But I think to succeed, you have to have a ruthless streak in management. I think Alex Neil and his recruitment team have that ruthless streak. They clearly work together. I asked Alex Neil in my conversation, how does it work? And there's always there's a recruitment team bringing you players. I don't think it's quite that one day Alex Neil says to Steve Gunn, I want a right winger, and then lo and behold, here's one. I think they work together far more than is sometimes apparent. He certainly said that he gets a say, and whether it's the final say, I don't know. That is slightly, contradicted by the signing of Barry Bannon. I'm not sure he was Alex Neil's choice, but he's gone now, so hey-ho. Just want to give a quick shout-out to Macaulay Langstaff before I move away from the leaving us section, and I've got to be announced Femi Aziz, question mark, but certainly Macaulay. I like Macaulay, good honest player, and did his best and scored some big goals, actually, some crucial goals. He wasn't prolific, was he? But he did get some big goals for us, and interesting, I saw him scoring for Salford. Gone up to Salford, hopefully on a decent wage up there to the boy, and he got a good goal. Nice flick header. There's no shame in finding levels, your level. I think that is his level. He was a willing, industrious, almost Tom Bradshaw style player for us, but he did have something about his ability to finish. He just didn't. You're feeding on scraps. I think that's probably the main thing with the Championship, dear listeners. But I want to wish Macaulay well, because I liked him, and he's a nice bloke, and he sat near me at the dinner, and he was very willing to take photos, or have photos taken, shall we say, talk to people. Nice bloke. Good luck to you, Macaulay, up north. Hope you're a success. Mentioned Femi Aziz already. I think that remains to be seen. Speculation ongoing, says Mr. Internet. Is a transfer away imminent? or can the club hold on to his speed and wide threat? More questions than answers. Injuries to Mihailo Ivanovic with a bizarre injury. I'm reminded of Sean Hutchinson hurting himself on his wheelie bin. Apparently, Mihailo Ivanovic just pulled up almost out of nowhere, walking around the edge of the pitch. So he's going to miss the pre-season, and it will take him a little while, I think, to get match fit, depriving Millwall of their focal point striker during crucial pre-season preparation, says my prep notes here. Putting extra strain on the remaining frontline options heading into match day one. When was that ever not so? I think goalkeeping is going to be an interesting question. Lucas Jensen, I've met Lucas. He's a big, tall boy. I would like to see him physically dominate his area, perhaps more than when we saw him before he did. I think he overcame some early nerves when he first appeared in the side. He was replacing, of course, Matthias Sarkic in extremely tragic circumstances, and after a little wobbly start, I thought he was starting to mature into the role before injury took him out of action. Obviously, the season finished with Max Crocombe and then Anthony Patterson vying, and Patterson being the predominant choice. I would like to see Lucas Jensen be a success. I think probably the area that I'd like to see him personally is physical domination of his area, and I can't remember enough about his distribution skills. Hopefully they're good enough to win a place. It'd be nice to see him, make a go of it. Let's put it that way. So there we go. Weight of expectation is going to be the main thing that we carry on our shoulders this season, listeners. To finish third and miss out on automatic promotion by 1 point is going to be a tough act to repeat. Let's be honest. We've got some, much as we like to swallow hard when we say, we've got some big names in a division next season, West Ham, for example, and they will bring certainly financial power. I know it's not always worked out for other clubs in the past, Leicester City being a great example, but we're up against some heavy hitters. So myself, I think a top 8 finish is the minimum that we've got to expect, pressure in that. But I don't know that we can expect to go so close to the top 2. That might be a touch too much. We'll see. Now then, I just want to run through a few comments online before we move along to the voice notes. I've mentioned Robert Cullen on. Big thank you, Robert, with his comments after the Stevenage voice note show that I did very recently. We're doing them quite rapidly. I'm actually going to the game, Royal Antwerp, on Saturday. Listen, I'm breaking the habit of a lifetime going to watch Millwall friendlies. How about that? Would you believe it? Let's have a quick look here at a few other comments. This is Sean Coleman. Big shout out to Sean, regular comments on YouTube. Nice to hear from Rob Abbott. This was our listed Lion show that I did with Rob. Sounds like a Colf school where they feed you well, so that Rob went to, says Sean. I wouldn't know about Colfs nor how well they feed you, Sean. Maybe Rob will bring us up to speed when he next does his voice notes. The interview with Alex Neil went down quite well. Really nice touch by the club, incidentally, to give us more, by us I mean the podcasting boys. So no, really nice amount of access to the staff and the players that Max McLennan has promoted. I want to say a big thank you to Max for that, because it makes a big difference. So there's a few comments to the interview that I did, my section with Alex Neil. PNW Lion says, nice one, Nick, appreciated. Not a problem, PNW. Great to hear from Alex this early in the season, says Mark Murphy. Nice work with the questions too. Well done. I was actually quite nervous, listeners. You don't want to sound like a dick, do you? You want to come up with intelligent questions and something different to what the others have tried to pitch. So I was actually quite nervous. Sounds a bit silly, I know, but it's the truth of it. Great interview, Nick, says Gary Grimshaw. Thank you, Gary. Wow, great guest, says John Rankin. Big shout out, John. Keep the voice notes coming there, John. And Harry Evans says, yes, Nick. Thank you, Harry. What other comments have we got here? I think that's probably it from the YouTube. David Liederkram, here we are. This is the listed line with David Liederkramer. We've got a few comments here. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. Hang on. What an enjoyable listen, says Alex Mitchie. This is the interview I did with David Liederkram. He's an old school fan, a bit like myself. Listeners, long in the tooth, David, me and you, mate. It's fair to say, in the 54 years, says Alex, that I've been watching Millwall, we have not been short of mediocre players. I tried to do a contrast with the best ever 11, because sometimes you start to find the same players cropping up. So I've been trying to mix it with the mediocrities that have played for Millwall over the years. Such is the nature of our club, says Alex. However, on occasion we do come across some outstanding quality, and he agrees with David that Teddy Sheringham was probably our best player with 111 goals between 1983 and 1991. He is the club's second all-time leading scorer. Not only that, but Teddy went on to have an exceptional career with 51 appearances for England. Great player. My favourite. You know, if you ask me who the best player in a Millwall shirt that I've ever seen, it's got to be Teddy. Neil Harris was quality, but his career obviously divided really into the pre-cancer and then the post-cancer period. Still great goal scorer afterwards, but I think there was a touch of slight loss of pace and loss of speed, and he had to replace that with nous in his latter stages, but he was very effective. So, you know, no one knocks Neil Harris in my company, listeners. PNW Line says he enjoyed that interview with David Lederkramer. Yes, mediocrity is something that our team does mix with grudging affection for certain players. They don't all have to be brilliant, just a bit good. I was at the Chesterfield away 5-0 Spackman loss. Yes, I've forgotten. Still merits the worst performance by any team I've ever seen. The guy cutting his lawn in the adjacent garden drew my attention for long periods in the second half. Anyway, no, this is PNW out there in Florida. Big shout out to you, PNW, mate. Here's to a great season, as he says there, rightly so. And Sean Coleman says that he thought he knew that David would pick out Keith Weller as the best player. I didn't see Keith Weller before my time, listeners, so I can only go by the reports of others. Now then, as I say, this is a voicemail show. As with the London buses, I've said already, we do shows rapido at the moment. I will be going to the friendly on Saturday, much against my normal, principles. Royal Antwerp. I think I've become intrigued by the name of the club. I'm going to try and put together a little list of foreign opponents we've had in friendly matches over the years, including, of course, Ferencváros in the UEFA Cup, our one competitive fixture in Europe. But we've played quite a few European teams. I'm going to try and put together a little list ahead of Saturday's game at the Den with Royal Antwerp. I'm going to go to it, which seems a very odd thing for me to do, but there we are. I'm at an odd stage of life. I will be back after Saturday's friendly, and I will certainly be at the QPR game in the Carabao Cup the week after. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to play you out now with the 3 voice notes. I want to say a huge thank you to the 3 chaps. Do keep your voice notes coming, listeners. You can get hold of me on X, message me on there at achtungmillwall. We'll have to exchange mobile numbers ideally, and then you can WhatsApp your voice note to me. I like it. It makes a great show, and I know that they're popular. So, if you're interested in joining our voice note gang, please do give me a shout. Hit me up, I think the kids say, don't they? Is that rap talk or drill talk? Hit me up, I don't know. You can email me as well, achtungmillwall@gmail.com, and we'll do the same business there. So therefore, dear listeners, we're going to say goodbye to you now. I'll be back at the weekend after the friendly game with the Royal Antwerp. For now, I'm going to play you out with our 3 voice notes. Until the next show, from me, Nick Hart, Arrivederci Millwall, and bye for now.
This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao. A gift from Italy to your home. San Pellegrino Ciao is a flavored sparkling water made with real fruit juice, finished with a pinch of Sicilian salt for a perfectly balanced taste. So which flavor will you choose? Peach, lime, blood orange, cherry, or maybe the all-new limoncello? Crafted in Italy with 0 grams of added sugar. San Pellegrino Ciao. Buy it now.
Uncovered windows can make your home feel up to 20 degrees hotter. Stay cool and save up to 45% off custom window treatments during the summer Black Friday mega sale at Blinds.com. From outdoor shades to room darkening blinds, finding the perfect fit is easy. Get free samples, expert design help, and professional measure and install services, or DIY with confidence and support every step of the way. Shop up to 45% off site-wide, plus huge savings on doorbusters right now during the summer Black Friday mega sale at Blinds.com.
Achtung, Millwall. All right, Nick, it's Hassan here. Just a quick summary from last night's game against Bromley. I went to the game. Again, it's a bit like an improvement on this evening's game. You know, we're playing the ball quite well. From what I saw, there's some good link-up play in the midfield. We should have been out of sight really in the first half. Lisby had a couple of good chances. Conte had a good one as well. So did Aziz. Then obviously in the second half we managed to turn it on a bit more. Bromley, overall, to be fair, the only shot they had was that one that went in. Apart from that, they offered nothing. They were right defensively, mind you. But overall, yeah, I was quite impressed with the new players. Baggett looked absolutely at home in the defence there, even with an unknown partner in the try list, which I believe was Danny Bath, and I thought he'd done all right. He'd done what a centre back does. He got his head stuck in. He cleared his lines. So I thought he was all right. And if we do end up signing him, I can see why, because it looks like Kamal Grant will probably go out on loan. I think Annex Neil confirmed that. And also, I don't think Grant was going to leave in this window. Or this, well, maybe January, but not for this window. I think he'll still be with us. So he's going to be our starting right back. If something happens in the centre backs area, we don't need to sacrifice Kramer. I think that's the reason why he's brought in, potentially bringing in Danny Bath. So Kramer always stays at right back. He never gets pulled into centre back. So I think that's half the reason why we're going to bring him in. Apart from that, I thought Conte looked bright again. It's full of running. Yeah, I think he'll end up. I think he'll be a fan's favourite, but also I think he's going to run the risk getting yellow cards and red cards. I think from referees, he does like a shirt tug. He does like a moan. So he has to be careful with that. But yeah, I was impressed with him. I thought Cervais was good. Del Boy was magnificent. He was chasing everything down. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more of our key first team players get involved with new players as well, such as like, I mean, imagine a midfield three of Del Boy, Cervais and Negley, for example, is quite frightening really to think what they can do as a free. But I'll keep it short and sweet. Another good run out, and we'll go on to the next one. All the best, mate.
Hi Nick, hope you've been enjoying your summer and all's well your side. Back at it now after the World Cup, which we won't mention. But no, good to see the lads back out there now. I'm watching the friendlies, albeit that maybe the results haven't been there, but I don't care about that too much for me, as long as the performances are there. I'm watching last night. It's the first one I've actually been able to properly see some of the new lads in action. For me, I know it's still 1-0 at Bromley, but you see big teams getting beaten friendlies. It's about the performance, really, like seeing moments. Do we create things? Who can do what? There was enough there for me. We didn't put a lot of chances away, but as Steve Morrison said in an interview recently, they don't care that much, to be honest with you. They're not hell-bent. They're probably only playing at 70-80% at most at this stage. And I think there's a lot there. I thought the front three, Lisby, Aziz and Conte, and Coburn, we know what he does when he come on, but I thought the first three was really lively. You could see they're all trying to get in behind, just causing issues, and you could see them, causing issues really for a lot of teams. Lisby, yes, he looks raw. I think that's been the general consensus from everyone, isn't it? That Lisby is quite a raw player and he's going to take time. You can see that, but you can also see him just his direct running. Even if he is a bit raw still and not even playing well, he will create things and bundle through. And yes, he will probably miss chances and get frustrated, but I think he's not going to go missing. And let's face it, last year, really, the whole of last year, the left wing didn't really produce many numbers. All right, Ballo did okay, but not really anyway good enough. So it's promising. Bangura Williams, that's what I had to mention him. He's a funny one, isn't he? He was a bit better last night. You didn't know he was on the pitch at times, but he did a lovely ball over the top, which was a more difficult one to Lisby. Got on, I think he had a shot from it. And then he had an easier pass, a bit more time in his hand to put a Conte through, and he just overhit it. A few sloppy passes, but a few moments of brilliance. I really still think there's a really good player there that can play in that 10. And I was going back and forth last night of, he'd be useful to keep. No, maybe best to loan. Realistically, I think a 6-month loan of League One football or wherever it might be, just so he can get match practice and really fine tune some bits and have a look at him again in January. And he might be a much better player for it and we're better off for it. I just worry that if we keep him for 6 months, he barely kicks a ball and we don't really see it, and then he eventually goes. So, there's one. Cervais, the new lad, he looks a player, doesn't he? He looks a player. He gets forward a lot for, when he was playing in that holding mid, he was getting forward. He's got that beautiful left foot. Even his right doesn't look bad, but he's got some technique. The way he's striking it, that goal he put in, yeah, you could say it's mundane, but the power and the precision of how easy he looked to put it into that corner. I think we've got a player on our hands there. Del Boy, man of the match, really. Again, I think if looking at that, hopefully goes strength to strength. And I think it's going to be hard to choose from who we play in them CDMs, even with Denor, Del Boy, Cervais, and then obviously Metcalf doesn't look a bad player either. So it's going to be hard for him. We're getting options finally. I think just looking last night, I just think we still need a right back probably, because Leonard, I think, has taken up the McNamara mantle as I'll play a backup right back. I could play backup left back. But we've got Doherty and Sturge. So if Leonard can cover as a third, if one of them's injured, both injured for whatever point, for a game or two, it's not the worst. But right back, I think we need. And I think we need another left winger. Because there isn't really. I mean, Doherty looks good in that left wing, but again, because we've only got 2 left backs, including him, and he's injury prone, I think we have to be conscious of that. And then the keeper position, I can't say too much on Jensen. You expect him to be rusty, and he'll probably continue to be for a while, but I haven't really seen. It's hard to judge. And it might be that the club are looking, but they're going, well, if we can't sign anyone that we know is an improvement, a definitive improvement, do we want to blow the money? So we're probably in that course, and they have to still come in and take time. We know it takes to get goalkeepers a while to get into it. So, look, lots of positives. Looking forward to the Antwerp game again, because that will be more of, I think we'll see more or less the 11 who's going to play. Caleb Taylor being back, we need him to stay fit, and he probably won't be his best or Crammer for even the first few games of the season. But lots of promising signs, and I'm really excited for it. Can't wait to see the boys going. Anyway, Nick, all the best. Talk soon, mate.
Hi, Nick. Mark Willoughby. As promised, a note about the friendly last night at Hayes Lane, or should I say the more appropriately named Copper Jacks Community Stadium. So who knew? This is my local ground. I can literally walk to it, and so it's quite a bizarre thing to go there last night. It took me about 20 minutes to walk, a nice sunny evening, and then go into the away end. So a bit bizarre. But I've seen Millwall a couple of times there over the years in friendlies. But it's a bit surreal this time of the season, isn't it? When you go, rather than hats and coats, it's T-shirts and sunglasses, and you find yourself staring at your own team's line-up, keep referring to it to try and work out who everyone is, such as the number of incomings we've had. It's the first friendly I've managed to get to this year. So it was quite interesting. I was quite looking forward to seeing the new guys, and there was quite a few of them which started. Oconte, Cervais, Baggett, Lisby, and a strangely named trialist. I think someone did tell me what his name was, but I couldn't remember. He didn't mean anything to me, and he didn't do anything, so not sure we'll see him again. Also, the welcome return of Jensen, and it was also a very pleasant surprise to still see Aziz in a Millwall shirt. I thought the last time we might have seen that was Hull at the end of last season, so that was good to see. He looked up for it and was very bright. Whether that's because he's trying to keep his form because a move is imminent, or because he's happy to still be around. Either way, it does Millwall no harm. So that was good. Game itself, we were dominant in the first half, apart from 10 minutes towards the end, when annoyingly Bromley managed to muster their one true chance of the game and scored. So that was 1-0 at half time. We had lots of chances in the first half, but the goalkeeper was on good form. One theme of the game was there were a lot of offsides for Millwall, so I need to have a look at that. But Bromley are very good defensively. They're big boys, and they know what they're doing at the back there. My son goes to Bromley a lot, as well as Millwall, so he knows the side very well. And he said that they would be solid at the back. I think amongst the new ones, Arconte and Baggett looked promising to me. Baggett looked quite assured. Lisby didn't do great amount, drew one good save from the keeper. Survey's very good though, my man of the match probably. Very good on the corners as well, floated those in very nicely. Was rewarded with a goal just after, shortly after half time. So he looked good. Possible starter there. What else? 60 minutes wholesale changes. Arrivederci came on. Thought he looked quite bright. Some nice touches and some good vision. Took him a bit of time, bit of a struggle getting his top on, but I won't make any jokes about that. Also, Sykes came on, Coburn, Denor, and very pleasantly welcome sight of Crammer and Taylor back on the pitch. So I think that was probably the highlight, really, for me, was Cervase's promising performance and the welcome return of some of our decent players who were injured at the end of last season. So solid overall, pretty good, and a pleasant evening. Looking forward to the Antwerp game on Saturday, and then getting stuck into the real business. Right, take care, Nick. Cheers. Come on, you Lions.
Hello, Nick. It's Martin Colwell here. Hope you're doing well in the heat wave and the complete non-existence of rain at all. Enjoying the Listed Lions podcasts and everything else you produce. Agree with you wholeheartedly about friendlies. Never been a fan of friendlies. Take no interest in them. Always look at the teams to see who's playing and who's been given a chance, but no real interest in results at all. That all starts, when the season starts. But what you got to remember is we've got to play 46 games in the league, August to May, and likely we will have not the quickest start because of all the new players we're bringing in and may well bring in. And I don't think you'll probably see the team operating at their best until into September, really. I mean, August is going to be another testing time whereby Alex Neil will be trying out players. But yeah, it's always obviously good to get off to a good start. But it's 46 games, and I know that there'll be that same old rattle on social media about if you don't win a game 5-0, then we've done badly. But, I mean, that's just life now in this social media world, isn't it? I like it that we're trying to bring in attacking players because our goal threat over the past couple of seasons has not been good and not been good enough to get us to where, we wanted to go, which is the Premier League. And I think that it's going to be tougher in the Championship this year because there's some decent teams come down, and there seems to be a bit of spending going on from a number of teams. And I know they've introduced into the playoffs, the down to 8th place instead of 6th place, so that gives you more chance to get into the playoff scenario. But again, it makes it harder because you've got more matches as well. So it's kind of counteracted because you'll go straight into knockout if you're in those, 7th and 8th places.
But yeah, I think we need to have confidence in Alex Neil to find the right blend, which again will take a few games to find, and I don't think that their friendlies have done that for him at all, because I think he's just trying out players to see what they've got. In regards to transfers, I agree that Femi Aziz will go. They're just waiting for the money. Not sure about Tristan Kramer because he's coming back from injury, and I know he was in the team of the year last year, but I thought he faded at the end of the season, before he got the injury anyway. I know he had to play not a right back, but I think he lost a bit of his puff. He wasn't getting about as much as usual. And wanted to be a dominant. And obviously, I know Caleb Taylor was missing, so he had to cover for that. But yeah, I'm not sure about Tristan Kramer going, because I think they'd want 12 million for him, and I don't see a team playing 12 million, except it's one of these silly teams like Chelsea, and I don't think they'll sign him, but you know what I mean, they're just silly and they just blow money. They buy these players, they buy those players, they buy another 12 next week. And there may be some teams that would do that, but he's kind of, it would kind of be an Ipswich, wouldn't it, for him, really, a team like that. It's not going to be a top team. Brentford are not going to take him back, I don't think. Bournemouth won't want him because they've got better players. But it'll be interesting anyway. But as I say, enjoying the work that you're doing, enjoying the listed Lions. Interesting to hear about people with the same sort of history of it as me, telling their story. And probably, I've been going so long now, 60 years, that, I've seen almost everything really. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the summer and speak to you probably after the QPR game. Bye for now.
When I was a little boy, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be Arsenal?
Who do you want to watch?
Will I be Spurs? Here's what she said to me.